Hey, welcome back to the CRP. I'm Miguel. I am joined by Devin Miller, the MMA team back together again. We've got news breaking in the UFC. The UFC's ESPN 3 offering set for late April has had the main event fall apart. Yoel Romero set to meet Ronaldo Jacare. That was a reconstituted main event. Now Romero's out and Jacare is sitting around waiting for an opponent. We'll see what the UFC does. I'm joined by Devin Miller to look at the situation a little closer. Devin, this is a real blow to the UFC's Ft Lauderdale card.
Yeah, it is, and it's important to note this is on ESPN Network, so this is the big UFC on Fox cards were, they were a little bit step up from the FS1 cards. The ESPN Network cards are a little bit of a step up from all the ESPN Plus cards that we have going on. So they're definitely going to want to fill this main event. And originally they had a very good main event lined up between Romero, who many still consider to be the best middleweight in the world. A lot of people think he won the rematch with Robert Whittaker. Whittaker's the only person who's beat him inside the octagon. And he's still ranked as the number one contender in this division. He was scheduled to fight an undefeated young contender in Paulo Costa. Well, Costa got pulled from his card for undisclosed reasons. Many people believe that this was due to a USADA violation. So they ended up replacing him with Ronaldo Jacare Souza, the number 3 ranked contender at this division, which would have pretty much inevitably been a number 1 contender fight for after the winner of Gastelum and Adesanya fights Whittaker. But now Romero's out, and now that's left Jacare in the main event without an opponent. So this is the second time this main event has fallen apart. And now it's just a last-minute scramble, since this card is about 3 weeks away, to see who's going to fill this spot and fight Jacare at the end of the month. A lot of people are guessing that it's going to be the new 10th ranked contender, Jack Hermanson, that's going to get the call.
And Hermanson would be a good choice in terms of a guy who is going to be fresh in people's minds. He was coming off another impressive performance either last week or just the week before in a co-feature fight, so he's been working his way up into the co-feature fight. And, he made short work of his opponent getting a first-round finish. And, when you come through a fight unscathed like that and you're riding a good wave, sometimes taking a fight like that on short notice and you're nice and ready, that could benefit him, and that would put him interesting. Jacare, a guy who likes to be prepared, I think. And I don't know about all these switches and stuff. Like you said, I think anybody would be very happy to take the main event spot for this card just because it's so high. There's going to be so many eyes on it that you'd kind of be foolish not to. So, what's the co-feature off the top? I don't have it in front of me. I'm sorry.
Well, the co-feature is actually another controversial one. It's that I really don't think that they're going to move into the headliner spot because the co-feature is Greg Hardy again. They got Greg Hardy in the co-feature for the second time, completely undeserved, and that's worthy of its own video to talk about what the UFC is even thinking with that. But that's who they have right currently in the co-main event on ESPN Network, which I understand. But going back to Jack Hermanson, he's on a good run. He looks really good. Nobody's ran through David Branch like that. Submitted him in under a minute with a nice guillotine choke. I think that's a fight that Hermanson would jump all over. He clearly didn't get hurt in that fight just last weekend. He submitted him with ease, was only in there a minute, so he's still fresh. Just came off a training camp. I think it's a fight that Jacare will take on less than a month's notice because of the style matchup. Hermanson's a heavy grappler. And I think that I don't know if there's anybody in the world right now that Jacare wouldn't be willing to fight, who's a primary grappling specialist. That's Jacare's world. So that would be a really interesting test. And I think Hermanson would answer the call because, as I mentioned, he's fresh. And on top of that, what an opportunity to go in there against true legend of this weight class and Jacare Souza. And if he were to win, I mean, it propels him into the top 5 in this division. And I think that it would really put him knocking on a door of a title fight in a really good division because it's almost guaranteed the champion Robert Whittaker who's sitting out he's going to fight the winner of next week's interim title fight this division between Adesanya and Gastelum later this year. But after that, you know, it's up in the air who gets the next call. So I definitely think that this is going to be a big opportunity. I expect the UFC to move in that direction with the Hermanson as the potential opponent. I think that'd be an interesting fight, and I think it'd be a good replacement. And now after that, it would just be let's make sure both of them get to the cage because this main event seems to be cursed at this point.
Yeah, what's the problem with Romero? Because, you know, as you said, the guy, I mean, if anybody qualifies for, you know, the picture next to the saying, the time is now, it's Yoel Romero. The guy is already, you know, held the belt, been at the championship level for several years. He's fought all the the top guys in the weight class. He's on the cusp, and he's over 40. So what are we waiting for?
Yeah, I don't know. What I saw was that it was just a reported illness, and that's all I saw that it said is that he's ill and that he has pneumonia, and
okay.
I'm guessing that he pulled out due to it affecting his training camp. I'm guessing, but as you said, he's kind of in a stage of his career where it's like you know, shit or get off the pot type of moment for him.
Yep.
He's in his 40s, but he is just kind of a freakish athlete. I mean, we haven't ever seen somebody that is that much of a freak athlete, even going into his 40s. And it's not like he has a long line of history of abuse. He got into MMA late, and he's still moving as quick and as strong as anybody we see. So I don't think we're anywhere near Romero hanging up the gloves. One thing that is an issue with him, the older he gets, though, is he struggles making weight. He actually missed weight for the second Whittaker fight. I actually think that he should go up to 205. I think that he would be a big threat there. But that's a different topic. But with him having pneumonia and pulling out, I mean, it must be pretty severe for him to pull out still. You know, I mean, it's only the 4th. There's 23 days left till the fight. So my guess is it's going to affect his weight cut, affect his training, and they pulled the plug on it because they didn't want to have to be a late minute pull out because or miss weight again. So I think this might either be just indication that Yoel is one of those types that's very meticulous about his training camp and doesn't want any kind of interruptions or he doesn't want to fight, or it was him being generous to the UFC and saying, okay, I'm sick, I don't want to risk getting back on the grind. There's only a couple weeks or less than 2 weeks away from the fight, missing weight, not being prepared correctly, and having to pull out last minute. And the main event is I'm going to withdraw from this, give you guys almost a month to correct this, which they will. And, you know, maybe this is just him being courteous to the UFC, just backing out while they still have some time to correct this. And I think that might be what's more likely.
And we are talking about the UFC losing their main event for late April, originally scheduled for the UFC in Fort Lauderdale. Ronaldo Jacare taking on Yoel Romero at 185 pounds. Today the news broke that Romero has pulled out of the fight. We will be back here at the CRP once the replacement is named. I've been joined by Devin Miller to talk about what the landscape looks like after Romero's pullout from UFC Fort Lauderdale.